Am.
Yo.
It's got a new angle here tonight. Trying it out. Hopefully it works. Jay, you may need to scooch over to your left a tad Doyle.
To your left, you mean?
To your to your right, yeah. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, except I think I unplugged something. Yep, in fact I did.
Oh, I don't know what. Oh, it must have just been the. Yo, welcome to 424 Recording Live. I'm here with Jay the Wizard of Operation Audio, Bohemesphere Studio. We're trying out a new setup here with the live stream, so let us know what you think in the chat. Jay's checking out his wounds. Do you want to tell everybody what happened to you today, Jay?
Fucking Ralphie'd myself.
It is the Christmas story season, the time of the year where these things.
Trying to get a good picture of it for my fucking Instagram.
That's crazy,
like,
man.
The fucking amp guys on there, I love that shit.
Crazy,
like,
man.
the fucking amp guys on there, I love that shit.
They'll be hitting you up about that.
Everybody shares fucking war wounds, man. That's what happens.
Dude, we gotta get you some what you call it, some safety goggles.
I own safety goggles, I just don't wear safety goggles.
Is it like harder to see with them or something?
No,
or?
it's a comfort thing.
Yeah. Well, it's like one of those things, like most of the time you don't need them, but then there's that one time.
Oh, I think I've told you before, I've been to the hospital so many times to get metal out of my fucking eye that I don't even go to the hospital for it anymore because I know how to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you gotta do for that?
There's a couple different things you can do. The last time I went to the ophthalmologist to get the metal out because the hospital couldn't help me, and he took a hypodermic needle and flecked it out of my eye.
Just like with the point of it?
Yeah.
Oh, you got like a nice pop blood vessel there, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it blew something. It's also changing the shape of the iris just outside of it.
Really?
Which is interesting, yeah.
So like that's the outer part, like the colored part of your eye?
Yeah, it's got like a little.
Oh yeah, I can see
like
that.
a little fucking wobble to it too.
Oh fuck, dude, yeah. You got really knocked there, man.
I was fucking driving with sunglasses on before. Shit sucked.
Shit, dude, is it too like?
No, that's all right. As long as I don't look at the lights, it's fine.
Tried the Gonzo then at the ceiling, so.
I was gonna bring the fucking sunglasses in with me. I decided that might be a little much.
You can wear them, bro. Oh, we're looking good.
No, they're in the car at this point.
Yo, Turtleneck, what up? Matt, what's going on?
Oh yeah, did you get the new mix from No Wave Charles?
Oh, I did. I didn't listen to it yet. I saw he just literally sent that like an hour ago, right?
Yeah, I listened to it before I left my house. I haven't heard it on like an actual fucking stereo yet.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet.
I just heard it on the phone, but I think he used the kick and snare samples I gave him. That's
Dope.
what it sounds like.
Dope. That's sick.
I got a Timberland's ad ahead of the video. Nobody getting revenue off that.
Timberland boots?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works.
Yo, so what's good, everybody?
Yo, what's going down? What up, Jason? Good to see you, my friend. Jason, I did that 1 hour song challenge thing. Did you see that? And it wouldn't upload. I was trying to upload it at 3 and it didn't work. The video was too big. So then I had to wait. But Jason is, he was... Sorry, I'm just monitoring the audio here.
I keep getting tagged in this shit. So there was a song that I wrote, speaking of 1 hour song challenges.
Yeah.
I had
Check.
Put it on figure 8 and it'll pick us both up.
Oh, I don't think it's coming through here for some reason. Yeah, I have it on figure 8.
You have it on figure 8 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Let me try unplugging this. I'm not plugging it back in.
Are we audio?
I don't know, man. I don't know if no, the audio's coming through, but I think it's just coming through on here.
How the hell's that happening? I want to plug into the jacket disables that.
I don't know. Maybe something got messed up last time. We had an issue last time with the audio. Yo. Or wait, is it just my computer that's being weird? Sorry, folks. We're just, as always, we got some technical.
It doesn't sound like the normal audio.
No, it doesn't.
Are you padded back here or something?
No, maybe.
No pad, no pad, no roll off.
It's just too. It's not. I don't think it's coming through there. Hold on. Let me see if it gets louder if I go over here. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, check me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming through over here. Did this thing get like...
Yeah, it's coming through over here.
You sure it's plugged in all into the phone? Because once you plug it into that jack, it can't...
Yeah, it must not...
Audio.
It must not... Yeah, that's weird. Maybe my jack got messed up. How we doing now? Fuck, it's still coming through over here. Way louder than your phone. Yeah, it's the phone is what's monitoring the audio. Check. Damn, something happened to this thing.
It's got to be the jack in the phone.
Yeah, something got fucked up on my phone. Try one more time. Damn, that sucks. I don't know what could have happened to this thing. I guess we're gonna have to, I don't know, turn this bad boy around. That sucks. I don't know what's up, man. My jack must have gotten messed up. Well, I hope that that's better, at least. Ah, man, that sucks. Whoa, shit, I almost fell backwards. Well, I guess we'll have to roll like this. I mean, it's probably better with the mic face this way. Let's see. I hear a woodpecker.
Yeah, the woodpecker's me tapping on the microphone stand.
Yo, test, test, test. Yeah, I don't know. All good, sounds good. All right. That's whack, man. We haven't done it like this in a while, but I guess we'll have to roll like that.
Yeah.
All right, well, at least we troubleshot it. I'll have to look into my phone. I hope my phone's not just screwed now.
Might just need a restart or something. Maybe it's not changing over.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, what's going down? We were saying that. How's your eye, man? Did you need
fucking water and shit?
Do you need anything?
Nah, not really much you can do.
Shit.
Just let it fucking heal, that's it.
We got the mini muffins, bro. Yeah, Beck was just making them pumpkin mini muffins. We're chowing down. So I was saying what's up to Jason. He was checking out that song challenge. He was working on a song. It was a pretty fun challenge, like just setting your timer for 60 minutes and seeing what you can come up with. You know, it's fun.
Yo, so I don't know, a month ago or something, I had a riff in my head, and I sat down at the studio for a minute, recorded guitars on it. I decided I should put drums on it too. So I did. In about an hour from that time, the time I started, I had a completed idea, and then as I was finishing the drum pass, the Irish band showed up. Like,
yeah,
yo, that's fucking sick. What is that? I'm like, so This is a live version of it.
This is with his sister singing too, right?
Yep. Then the bass rips in and like knocks the level down on every fucking thing. Not too bad on the phone, actually.
I like this chick's voice a lot, man.
Yeah, she's a real good singer. Yeah,
That's cool.
Where the video cuts off.
That's pretty cool. Like you were spitballing or brainstorming on this idea for fun, and then you had a session.
Yep.
And then the session people showed up and was like, "Yo, that's really cool. Can we make that into a song?"
Pretty much.
Like that's like the dream collaboration right there. It's, you know, you had something rolling, and then some people showed up, and boom.
Yeah.
Matt's asking whose sister. Nice voice. Yeah, that's what I was saying too.
The guy who plays drums in the Irish band.
Yeah, Jay. He records this Irish band, and I guess you're in the Irish band at this point.
As a live member, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So it's one of Jay's clients at Bohemesphere. They come through. What do you say? Like once a week, pretty much. Or once
Every
a month?
Monday.
Every Monday to do some stuff. So, but yeah, they that's awesome. Like his a really cool voice. I like that stuff a lot. Yeah, so I'm still bummed out about this sound thing, man. I can't stop thinking about it. That really sucks. I can't believe that thing is. You know, before I was. Shit, I think I know what happened. Well, maybe it just needs a restart. Sometimes it's just whack stuff like that. So I hope the audio is okay. Because it was working fine last week. We used this, so. I've been looking into a lot of different like streaming software and different things, and it's funny like how there's a lot of information out there, but a lot of it's pretty unclear as to what you need for live streaming. So it's kind of tough like to figure it out. But I'm hoping to get a couple things and figure it out, and then make some videos to show people how to do it, because I found it to be very confusing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's what I feel like. I always come to the conclusion that the phone works really well. So I don't know. We'll just keep rolling with that. But I guess now that this fucking audio thing doesn't want to work right, that sucks. Got me thinking about it again. So yeah, I had this new setup for us and everything, and it just doesn't want to work, man.
Yeah, it goes that way sometimes.
It's funny, yeah. Matt said his sister is a bomb singer. But she won't sing on any of my stuff because she's a biatch. That sucks, man. You gotta convince her to, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else has been going on, Jay? What else has been going on in your world?
I don't know. Recapping amps and fucking getting my eye pummeled by flying bits of metal.
Is this the worst injury you've ever encountered with the?
No, it's just the least convenient.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah.
But you can see okay.
Yeah, I can see fine. It just every once in a while it freaks out. And when my eye freaks out, it tears up and runs down my face, and then that nostril also runs.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking bummer, man.
Sinuses and eye are just not happy right
now.
now.
Not at all. My eye triggers the whole fucking reaction. Yeah. The amp I was working on was pretty neat, though. It's a mid-60s Hilgen, which is a weird fucking thing.
Hilgen? Like Zildjian?
Like Hilgen.
Oh, I never heard of that one.
It's kind of looks like an old Harmony or something like that.
Oh, cool.
It's a 115, like a 20-watt combo. But it'd been in a barn for about 25 years.
Where'd you get it from?
Came in through the music store. This one guy brings in all kinds of shit all the time. He like shops barn sales and stuff like that, and he just buys up like kinds of randoms, man. And he's been filtering through his stash, bringing it in to get fixed.
That's cool, man. That's really cool that the guy has. I love like old amps. We used to have this. The first band I was in, it was the same kind of deal. The guys, my buddy Greg, his dad is he's kind of like an old toy collector, and that was like kind of his business, you know, like eBayer, but basically he would go to places and buy up like attics full of old toys and stuff. Yeah. But in those lots, he would always have like old amps and old guitars and stuff. Definitely. And like I forget what it was. I forget it wasn't a Harmony, but it was like the Lafayette. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was this little like random ass. I've never seen another one of them. I don't know if we'll see another one. And we used that in the first band we were in. This old 2 band. It was sick. But it was like one of those like weird hand-me-down kind of like. You know.
That's what this guy has, and he also has like a shit ton of microphones he's gotten that way, like some old stuff like RCA Aero Pressures, which were the ones that had like the aluminum cone part on them. It's a strange ass mic, like from the 40s. Wow. Yeah. Gotta hate. There's like a whole collection.
Is that like a different? Is that like a dynamic?
It is a dynamic, but it had a specifically or a specially shaped. Let's call it a nose cone. The basket part over the diaphragm. It has like a nose cone, like a fucking rocket almost, except it's like the top of a plastic Easter egg, but bigger.
Yeah.
It goes over and it's got slits cut out. The idea was that it was like tuned to work in whatever specific environments, and if you put the cone on it, you could focus its pattern even more.
Whoa!
It's like a refractor cone thing. I don't know. Like that collar they put on dogs when they go get surgery and shit. It's like that, but it's made out of aluminum. And there's a little set screw in it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone using or implementing one of those.
Have a good holiday, Jason.
Oh, later, Jason. Yeah, good. Thanks for coming through, buddy. What movie are you guys gonna see? Ralph? Are you seeing Ralph too? Let us know how it is. Have a happy Turkey Day. Everybody in the States, have a happy Turkey Day. Man, I don't know. Everybody usually filters in later. Good seeing you, Jason. Good job on that track, by the way. Came out good, man. Awesome. Oh, speaking of movies, and this goes to anybody else, Bohemian Rhapsody. Saw it last night.
I haven't seen it yet, yeah. I hear the reviews.
Highly recommended. Highly recommended. I thought it was really well done.
Yo, Matt's here too.
Yo, Matt, what's up, buddy?
What up, man? That board I brought with me actually is for
Ralph 2 review coming soon. Awesome. I heard about people going to check that out. That's funny. So yeah, definitely let us know. I never saw the first one. But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. Before we get into the board you brought.
Yeah.
Really sick. Really, they did a really good job.
The guy looks just like Freddie Mercury. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The previews of that shit is sick.
He did a really good job. Like overall, it was really well done. It's like it has a really good flow. It covers like kind of like the different, I wouldn't say different eras of the band, but it jumps around and like it's very linear. It kind of starts at the end and then works its way back to the end, which is cool.
So it's like fucking Walk the Line or one of those where like.
Yeah, it begins on like Live Aid, which is like that concert they were doing for Ethiopia. Yeah. And that performance is kind of the end of the movie. I don't think I'm giving anything away, but it's kind of
not really anything you can give away.
Titanic, you know.
People know the ending, the outcome.
So, but it was really good. It kind of showed the inception of them and Freddie Mercury's home life, and it was really interesting. And then as they become like more and more popular and have more fans and things, it was really good. But highly recommended if you're into music. Obviously, anybody watching this probably is. I would definitely check it out. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be in theaters much longer, so. But you could probably check it out on streaming. All right, so this other thing you brought, Jay, where is that?
The board.
Yeah. Can you tell us about this? I do feel like Matt said. Letterman style setup, and he digs your pleasure. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling this. I did this setup similar to this with Tim the other day. That's coming out on the podcast tomorrow, and it was fun because I feel like when we sit next to each other, I don't really talk to Jay. We're more like, I don't know. It's weird. Like we're having a conversation with each other, but we're not like
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Well, this seems more.
I don't really think about it. We're not here to talk to one another
I
as
think
much as we
about
are
it.
to banter with the
chat.
the live cast. Yeah, yeah.
It's like we're having a conversation now. It's like it is very like Letterman interview style or something.
So this board that's in my hand, Matt is building a Baseman clone into an old radio chassis, and we've been going back and forth about it for, I don't know, weeks. I think we're like 60 some emails deep in it at this point.
Oh my god, jeez. You guys are crazy, man.
But so this turret board is the Baseman layout for the Baseman model that he's working on.
Sick.
And I told him that I'd bring it on the stream so that he could see it before I. Here you go. So at that end, you got B plus resistors up there and the nodes that they go to, and that cap is the bias supply. And then in the middle is the weird change I told you about that I would populate so that you could find it. And yeah, so that's what it is. It's an eyelet board. And you buy these blank boards, and the eyelets come as just loose things in a package, and then there's a tool set that goes for. The eyelet goes into one side, and then there's a drift driver that you line up on the other side, and you whack it with a fucking hammer until the sound changes, and it locks the little turrets in.
And so now those are kind of what you're wiring between the turrets?
Yeah, well, the way the components run here, they'll be, I put little lines on so that I can keep track of where things are supposed to go.
Very cool.
But yeah, so between these 2 points, between this point and these three, here to here, here to there, or whatever, here to here to here.
This is the point-to-point hand wired.
Well, this is the.
But with the turrets, I'm assuming.
It's the DIY equivalent of like Fender's eyelet boards, where they had little eyes stamped into like a waxed paper, basically.
Cool.
This is how you do it on this side of things.
That's really sick, man. So now is
the last couple amps I built
from Tom's?
Like this. What?
Is this the board from Tom's project? Didn't you say your bass player Tom bought some sort of amp kit that he was going to put together?
Oh no, he did not. He ended up canceling it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if this was the project from that.
That would have come with a black board that was totally blank, and then it would have been punched with these eyelets. There's two ways you can do it. You can either buy blank phenolic, which is about 5 times as much money as this, and then you got to drill a million fucking holes in it anyway.
Oh, really?
Or you can buy a board that has all the holes already and just load the eyelets you want in it.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. The last 2 amps, the blue one and the red one, both have this style board in them.
Cool. Yeah. I remember seeing the gut shot of that.
And he decided he wants to build both channels. The Baseman 165 or 1165 has 2 channels, a bass instrument channel and a normal channel. Normally I would cut off one of those channels because I don't need them. And if we had done that, it would have only been like turrets probably up about halfway, and then we could have put the filter caps in here. But either way.
Sick.
Yeah, pretty simple. But makes things a lot easier when you go to actually build it.
Yeah, it seems like it's... And then I see what you mean too, like that versus building like pedals. It's like so much easier to build something like that.
Yeah, I mean, once you have this board punched out, the tools to do it, I think, are about $25. I think I have 2 anvils and I have 1 drift driver and the hammer. But once you have the tools, you buy a bag of eyelets. They come in packs of 10. I think a 10 pack is like, I don't know, $2 and something, whatever. And then the boards are, I don't know. I think the board's less than $10. I forget.
Oh, wow.
So, you order a couple boards, and you can cut this shit too pretty easy with either a saw or with you just score it a bunch of times with a knife and crack it.
It's kind of like breadboard.
No, breadboard's a thing you just plug components into. It's got
what's the other
contact strips in it.
What's that other one? The
perf board.
Perf board.
Yeah, it's kind of like perf board.
Because you can kind of like cut that to the size that you want it.
Yeah, it's the same idea. It's phenolic. This is a 2mm phenolic board. They make a 3mm too. It's a little heavier. But the eyelets or the turrets are also a lot more expensive for the 3mm. So we use the 2mm. They hold just fine, and you get everything you need.
That's sick.
But, you know, it makes it really easy. Like, I could load this board for his amp and probably... the last one I did, the red one, it took me less than 20 minutes to load the whole turret board for it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Just go in the parts boxes and whip it out. But so anyway,
That's
Matt,
really cool, man.
there's the board we've been talking about. So you can see that it exists. There you go.
Dope, dude. Man, that's a...
And a
I'm
couple
excited
of...
to see things coming together.
And a couple of 1 ohm resistors to put in the cathodes of your tubes so that you can measure the bias.
Jay also brought me a little gift today, some Latvian diodes to experiment
Those are late 80s Soviet-produced germanium diodes.
Hell yeah. Are these like really rare?
They're harder to get a hold of than you might think.
Well, I'll make sure I keep
Like,
them.
I found a good lot of them, so I bought them. I think I now have 200 of them or something.
Sick. Now, let me ask you something. In terms of parts, since we're talking about parts and building amps and building stuff, what do you like to keep all your parts in? Do you just have like those Plano cases? Do you have like fish tackle boxes? Like, what do you keep
I
in?
have...
'Cause I was thinking about all the extra. We have all the extra parts left over from the TascFams because we got some extra. I was thinking about putting those in some sort of container.
so, there's...
And labeling it because right now they're all in like crazy bags and stuff.
Yeah, I have drawers full of parts just in crazy bags because there's way too many values to put them all in one place. But my tube amp parts, there's Stanley shallow totes, the heavy duty black and yellow totes. Resistors, miscellaneous hardware, jacks, shit like that live in a series of like 5 or 6 of those. And then at Dick's Sporting Goods, over near the fishing tackle section, they have these boxes that I think they're made by Field and Stream. They come in like a 5-pack. They're clear, like flip top. They're meant for like fly fish and shit. But they have like movable compartment dividers.
Yeah.
I think the whole stack of those was like less than $20, and I use those for basically everything else that goes into an amp. I got one that's full of like knobs and plastic parts and weird shit, you know, strain reliefs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I have one of those that's nothing but parts that are specific to Fender Hot Rod Deluxes, if that tells you anything.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that's them.
But yeah,
It's
I gotta
funny.
step out and use it real quick.
Yeah,
I
man.
should've done
Watch
that
out for these
before.
wires. I
Yeah.
kind of set this up a little weird tonight. I was going for a different setup tonight. Like I was saying, Tim and I did like an interview the other day, like this, and it was really fun. And then audio thing's not working, but there's a bunch of wires now where there was never wires, and I don't know. It's good to try out some new stuff, see what's up. Mike just ate Jay's moment. There's technically 2 for each of us, so. I have too many songs unfinished, Mike. One of your recent solo podcasts really hit home when you said it's best not to talk too much about your projects or you won't be able to finish them. Won't be motivated. I talked all that shit about how I was going to kill the FSC and failed miserably. Nah, you still got time, bro. Fall doesn't end until December 21st. That's winter solstice, I think. So you can still crush it, man. You still got plenty of time. Just don't talk about it. But that's true. That's something I was saying. I think on this last week's podcast, maybe scattershot versus targeted, because that's something I came across and I wanted to tell people about because I think it's super. It's a psychological thing. I think I don't know. I probably mentioned this the day before. Oh yeah, we gotta have a we'll have a noise interlude in a minute.
Christ.
But that's one thing I think I mentioned is like the psychological. So basically, when you talk about doing something, it runs the same synapses or runs the same part of your brain that makes you feel like you're actually doing that thing. So like, if you say, I think this is the example I use because I used to be more into writing things. So many people, writers, younger writers, they'll always say, I'm writing a novel, I'm writing the next novel, it's going to be great, I'm writing a novel. And then these motherfuckers never wrote anything. And a large part of that is because the more you talk about doing something, the more that it is, the more that you're tricking yourself into thinking that you're actually doing it, because on a psychological level, you're just by saying that you're doing it, you're basically satiating that desire or that part of your brain that wants to complete doing it. So it's actually really detrimental in the long run to, and that's why I don't tell people about the projects I'm doing anymore, because I noticed that trend after reading this psychological thing. I forget, it was in a book or something, but I found it to be very true, especially in the projects that I started and never completed, or things that I wanted to do and never finished. And a lot of it comes down to, it's talk is cheap, you know, and the fact that it actually is making you feel like you're doing whatever it is you're talking about doing is even more dangerous and detrimental to actually getting something done. So I think you're better off. It's exciting to talk about people, what you're doing, but I think until you have some kind of final finished product, or you're physically working on that product, just be careful about what you say you're going to do, because you will be tricking yourself into thinking that you're actually doing it. So yeah, don't talk about it for sure. It's very strange, and I think it's just so true. Like I've known a lot of people, and even myself, you know, with certain things I was trying to do and get done, it's very it's working against yourself, even though it feels like you're doing it. So your podcast made me aware of it. I didn't realize I was going down that road. Oh, cool. I'm really glad that was something that it makes sense and connected with what you're doing, Matt, because that's good. I'm going to make a mental note, because what I want to do, and I think I mentioned this to Jay with some of the podcasts, is now that I'm kind of doing it, I want to kind of go back and either make like an ebook out of it or make a book out of it, of either like creative tactics. Oh, see, but now I'm talking about doing it. So, but I think I'm actually going to do this. So, yo, is that James? Hey, James, what's up? It's funny, you just dropped in. I got a friend Bammy that drops full albums. I don't know until it pops up. I'm like, yeah, see, that's the trick, turtleneck. But that's what I was saying to James too, and a lot of the stuff we were talking about in the podcast. I think I want to like cull together all that stuff, like especially the stuff that's inspiring or works for people or connects with people, and make that into some sort of, I don't know, creative field guide or something for tackling projects and getting stuff done. I think that would be a lot of fun, and it's cool because I feel like one of the cool things about doing YouTube and doing the podcast is that in a way you can look at it as like a first draft for stuff, you know, like it's a way to spitball and brainstorm and get something down on paper, and whether you look at that thing again or not, because with anything that you produce in quantity, there's always going to be certain things that are quality within that stack of quantity. So like if those things make sense to put together into some sort of book or format that would be helpful to people trying to create things or trying to, I don't know, start a business, be a singer, I don't know, anything really that it would apply to, I think that would be fucking sick. Oh, Easy said, hey, it's Neil Young. Oh wait, it's Jay. My bad. Nice. Yeah, Matt, I think that sounds like a good way to go, buddy. Just surprise him. I was actually in the hardware store yesterday, and somebody was singing, this kid who I've actually met before, but I don't think he realized that we had met. He was singing Cortez the Killer, which was really, really interesting. There's an interesting vibe in the hardware store. Yeah. Hey, Easy, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming through. We've just been talking about some stuff on the podcast. We've been talking about some amp building, talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know if you were interested in Easy in seeing that, but that's a sick movie. Maybe I'll do a quick review of it or something on the channel. That could be fun. And maybe not so much like a review, but as just like kind of like a go see it and here's why. I don't know. I don't like the idea of like reviewing. I don't really have that much at stake with the movie. I just think it was good. It was definitely worth seeing. If you like music, you will like that movie. That's probably could be the whole video basically. It was awesome. It was really sad too, but it was really good. Yeah, that was one of my favorite podcasts too, the one with James. We hit like a lot of the points. It was like a really condensed version of like everything that's talked about on the channel like most frequently. So if you haven't checked that one out, I think it's episode 21 with James Dunn. That's Bean Trees in the chat. That one was really sick. So check out our pod. Check out James's stuff. I see demons in the woodgrain.bandcamp.com and beantrees.bandcamp. On the pod, James. Fun times, bro. Oh, my thing's doing this shit again. Top chat. I think I'm missing some of the chat, boys. Oh, Easy said, I'm an old fan of Queen from the 70s. The timeline is just a bit out. Yeah, so that was the one thing. There was one thing it glossed over that I thought was that I wish they hadn't glossed over, and then
Was that AIDS?
no, that was the part Under Pressure. They didn't cover like what the deal with that was. Them working with Bowie, which I thought would have been really cool to have in the movie, but I guess it would have made the movie longer. But yeah, that's what I was saying. It kind of starts. It's also the movie starts at the end pretty much, and then it goes back to the beginning. So it's like, it's interesting how it's laid out. But I don't know the exact chronology of it myself. I'm not like a mega Queen fan. I had a lot of Queen albums when I was a kid, and that was like one of my first bands I like started getting some of the CDs for and things. I guess I had like some greatest hits by them and didn't dive deeper into the catalog until after, but so many great tracks, man. Queen's such an interesting band too, because I feel like, I don't know. I guess because Freddie Mercury died in '85, or no, in '91. Live Aid was in '85 from the movie. I should know this. I just watched the movie yesterday. But I guess that's why, because like I feel like they're not as. It's funny because they were around the same time as like, a lot of those bigger like classic rock bands. But I mean, I guess they do still get a lot of play and radio play and things. But I don't know. I don't know. Can you say that Queen's underrated? I don't know. Is that? I feel like they're. I don't
think you can use that with Queen. Underrated? I don't know. I mean, there's like
yeah, I feel like everybody
better than half of their catalog is like
super hits.
Yeah, it's like some of the best shit ever written.
I don't know. I feel like maybe they're not as like talked about or something as like a band like Zeppelin,
Yeah, I mean,
obviously a different type of music, but I don't know. I think they're just a very different band, and like even though they have like the huge like super hits, I feel like they never were as like commercialized or something as a lot of the other stuff.
That could be. I mean, they were doing some weird shit, like in a time where it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe people weren't quite ready for some of the shit.
That's
they were
exactly
doing.
what I was trying to say.
Like the whole like.
So that's not underrated. That's
4-part harmony, fucking.
Well, that's kind of what they say in the movie too. It's like the guy was like.
But somebody had to be the fucking pioneer for that shit. So.
Yeah, but I guess that's what I mean is like I guess maybe underrated at the time or ahead of their time is maybe weren't more trying to say like.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I feel like they were more outside of the box than somebody like Zeppelin, where it's like, I mean, obviously. I don't know. I think that's what I'm trying to get at there. Oh damn! Easy said I saw them in '79, 3,000 seat theater, best gig. Wow, that's got to be. Oh man. Oh, Turtleneck, thanks for coming through, buddy. Yeah, we appreciate you having here, a part of the community. Thanks for the kind words. I gotta get that. I was thinking about getting the Discord server up. It's something I gotta. There'll be an announcement on the channel about that. We'll chat about that. Yeah, that's a good point. They had complex arrangements, but weren't popular because of that. Yeah, they had to reinvent themselves in the '80s. They went global. Oh, then they went global. Yeah, I don't know. Super interesting. I feel like they were just so different than the stuff that was around, but yet we're still huge, if that makes sense. Yeah, such a sick band. It's I mean, I think Another One Bites the Dust has got to be, personally for me, one of my favorite all-time tracks. Like, that song is so fucking good. And I feel like there's not a lot of stuff that sounds like that song. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, actually, there's a lot of things that sound like that song because it's been sampled for so many fucking things over the last, whatever, 30 years.
So there's stuff that sounds like, I feel like that song is still kind of like, I mean, I think the closest thing it reminds me of is like a Michael Jackson song or something.
Mm.
Just with like that fat bass line. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Vanilla Ice. I kind of completely forgot about that. Has they ever had a time they weren't really part of a genre wave and nobody else tried it? Yeah, right. I think that's kind of what I'm getting there. Like they're kind of like outside.
I don't know what's up with that song Bicycle though. That shit is whack.
Bicycle, I want to ride my bicycle.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they're a band worth digging deeper into. It's funny in the movie they kind of touch upon some stuff.
Well, if you dig deeper and what you find is bicycle, maybe you want to cover that back up.
Right. Yeah, right.
It's like digging in your yard and finding like a hand. Like, nah, I'm good.
It's like coming home from college and finding an ear, a cut off ear in a field.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, that's Blue Velvet.
Yeah, I'm good.
Easy with the great deal. $244 on eBay. Needs new belts and pinch roll, but it's all clean and working. That's amazing. That's
nice.
Good for you, Easy. I've been wanting to get one of those myself. I was talking with who's telling me that they had gotten a 246. Maybe somebody in the comments. I forget, but we were talking about same deal. It just needed I think belts, and then there was something else that had gone on it, but it was like a really easy fix, and those I guess are easier to work on because they're a little bit earlier electronics, so they're not as like not as complex. $70. Oh damn. Remember the first time I heard it being confused. Well, that's the thing. I feel like they tried shit like that. I don't know. I feel like that's part of the aesthete or the aesthetic of it is Easy was saying, they kind of were like constantly reinventing themselves. They talk about that in the movie too. Like they were like, I feel like they were like really true artists. Like that's kind of the whole idea behind like Bohemian Rhapsody. I guess why it's called that. Not to give anything away, but it's I think even in the commercial for it, which is ironic and also a really good touch. Mike Myers plays the EMI rec exec, who was like, you guys, like Bohemian Rhapsody, nobody's gonna listen to this song. This is crazy, 6-minute song, whatever. But I think it's ironic and a really good casting choice because he says in the movie nobody will ever sing along to this song, and as we know from the famous SNL skit turned film Wayne's World and also Wayne's World Part 2, there's a part where they're literally singing. Wayne and all his cronies and Wayne and Garth are singing Bohemian Rhapsody in the car. So I thought that was a really good touch. I don't know how intended it was. It had to be. They had to have thought about that though, because it was a really good connection, and something a little bit deeper to think about. Like, and it's just funny that Mike Myers, he plays like not retroactively, but he plays the rec exec, shitting on it. But then he's also in this other movie that came out, I guess in the 90s now, right? Wayne's World is probably mid 90s? I don't even know.
I think Wayne's World was like 91, 2.
Right, yeah. So
yeah.
20 years ago, I think that's just super funny. I don't know if that was intended, but a really good touch if that was something they thought about. Nice. You have a 3D printer, Easy, or are you gonna farm that out to somebody who has one? That's sick. there's like this maker studio thing that Tim's wife works at at her job, or it's near her job, and they have like, I've been meaning to check it out, but it's just so far away. But they have like all sorts of high-tech 3D printers and things like that. It's pretty cool. Oh, cool! It's at work. That's awesome. I'm surprised 3D printing hasn't been more of a thing. It seemed at one point that it was like people were saying this was like the next big thing, and that at some point everybody was going to have a 3D printer in their house, like everybody has a microwave.
I don't know about that.
And now it's become kind of a niche.
It's a fucking novelty.
Hobby novelty, yeah. I mean, I think that's really cool that you can print out new buttons for it and new knobs. I know, like, Tim again has one that he kickstarted, a home model that he makes like small figures for tabletop games and things, which is really cool. But yeah, it doesn't seem like, it's just funny because like there's so many things like looking around your house or looking around your place where it's like, this is this little plastic thing, but you have to like order it somewhere. Like, it seemed like the plan was that eventually, if you needed like shower curtain rings or something, you'd be able to just print them out at your house. You know, if you wanted to, make a clock or something, you could just print it out at your house. Like, it's fascinating technology. I don't know why it hasn't really. I don't know if it'll come back around, but I feel like there was one point in time, maybe like 5 years ago or sooner, where it was like, this is it, and then it like tanked, and now it's kind of like a novelty. But I think that's really cool. 3D printing. It just sits there doing nothing. My guy prints skulls on it. Whoa, that's crazy. It's got to be a better use for it. Hey Bobby, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. We're just talking 3D printing. We were talking about Bohemian Rhapsody, talking about the podcast, talking about amps Jay and Matt are working on. Talking about Jay's injury. You got.
Yeah, I just posted something on Instagram about it. Now I got like getting
sick.
like texts about it. Shit.
Sick.
What's up with your eye?
Check it out at Operation_audio if you want to see the close up of Jay's messed up eye. I'll pump it in the chat here.
I should have saved the little solder piece and took a fucking picture of that.
At Operation_audio. Check out it. If you want to see a close up of Jay's eye, you can now start the 2-screen experience of 424 Recording Live. Oh, that's cool. It comes up as like a little crown in the chat. I didn't see that. Oh. I can't recommend Mars Communications for belts anymore, unfortunately. Their belts are, in my experience, are made from the longest lasting material, but they took forever getting me. Oh, that sucks, dude. They're kind of like, they kind of have like a Web 1.0 thing going on, right? Like with the site. That sucks, dude. I think those are the belts that are in the Nakamichi, right, bro? Matt, did you see the Nakamichi video, by the way? I finally got around to using it, sort of. Not really in the way you intended, but that's coming soon, too. That's crazy about the 3D printer, Easy. You said that they don't really do anything with it. That's really a shame. I don't know. I don't know what you would do with it. I think part of it too is that there's.
I know what I would do if I had a fucking 3D printer.
What?
I'd be 3D printing all the knobs that either are missing from shit that need to be recreated, or that in designs that I would like to see on my devices and equipment.
How cool would that be if you could do that? That's what I was wondering, like that technology. I don't know if it's.
But I think the cartridge is like hundreds of dollars, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, there's places like I was saying, this maker studio place. It's out in like Sullivan County. I understand. I think you pay some kind of like yearly membership, and then you can just go there and use it. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure if you got into some sort of whoa, that was a really long Instagram name that started following me. I'm sure you could figure out a system for it. I feel like you couldn't afford your own, because that's the thing. I feel like there's the other problem with 3D printing is that there's no like middle ground of 3D printers. There's ones that are really sick that are super fucking expensive.
What the fuck? There's a long ass name that just started following me,
Yes,
too.
that was me too. Yeah, I was looking at that.
Mist,
That's
she...
turtleneck.
Mist, she teaches...
Myths?
Me... Mist, she teaches me myths mistold.
Nice.
Whoa.
Mist.
Who is that?
That's turtleneck.
Oh, word, alright.
They said, that's me. Nice. Yeah, because that popped up on
Quite
my...
a screen name.
across my top of my phone, because we're actually monitoring it right now. And then on Jay's too. That's really funny. Thanks for the follow, bro. Hey, Mike, awesome song you did in 1 hour. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I kind of like... wasn't sure how that one was coming out. I just kind of like... Oh, that's a Captain Jazz lyric? Nice. Is that from... Oh, okay. Nice.
Captain Jazz will get you high. I don't know what Captain Jazz is, but...
It's like a... I forgot the guys' names that are in it.
Is it jazzy, or is that just a clever name?
No, it's not jazzy.
Good.
It's the same guys that are in that band Owls. Have you ever heard that band?
I don't know. Maybe.
They were like an early, I think, Jade Tree band or something. Sick band, though. Kinsella's, that's right. American Football, Joan of Arc. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Bobby, with that song, it was just like, I just kind of went with whatever came up. It was funny because like usually I do stuff not under pressure like that, and then with the camera going and the timer counting down, it felt very pressurized. So I kind of just went with whatever was coming up. But I highly recommend that for any of you guys, any of the people out there looking to make a song, or you don't feel like you haven't been doing anything or writing anything. Set up a little hour timer on your phone and get to work, and just say whatever you do in that hour, that's going to be it. And the cool thing is, like, now I have another song for the National Solo Album Month thing, nasolomo.org, which I was just working on actually more stuff for that before Jay came over. Again, I was waiting for Jay because I knew he was going to show up, and I was like, oh, well, I got like 15 minutes. I can try to like write something, and I came up with something really sick again. So there's something to be said about limitations and having that small amount of time to work on something. I'm really a firm believer in Parkinson's law, which is work expands to fill the time allotted for it. If you set aside 8 hours to do something or set aside an hour, chances are, depending on the task, like you're gonna get it, most of it done, or it done in the same amount of time, depending on how much you set aside for it. Now, if you have something that's going to take 8 hours, that's a different story. But like,
is work expand? It's kind of like a fucking goldfish. If you give your tasks to be completed more time for it to happen in, it's like giving the goldfish a bigger tank. The shit just keeps growing.
It's getting bigger. Yeah.
That's how come I work like fucking 6.5 days a week.
Yeah, there we go. Parkinson's law, bro.
There it is. Parkinson's law. That's how you get fucking Parkinson's disease, I think.
No,
You're
see,
never taking a fucking rest.
No. That's the whole thing. It has like
It's gonna make me shake.
The name isn't great because it's obviously the disease, but it's very true. Like, I think that's like one of the. I think if it's like when you have to write a report or like a term paper, if you ever had to do that in school or college, it's like if you set aside a weekend to do it, or you waited to the last like 6 hours to do it, like you're gonna get that shit done whether you take the weekend or the 6 hours to do it. Like, same with songs, man. Like, if I had set aside 8 hours to write that one song, I probably would have wrote about the same song and would have been a little bit more dressed up, a little bit mixed differently, but I think that's how you can really 10x your output if that's what you're looking to do and you want to write more things and get more things done. I don't know. I've never been great at it personally. I don't think you've been great at it too, from what I know about you, Jay. But like just deadlines. I'm really bad with deadlines. Like, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you too, but like I've always been a terrible procrastinator, and that's something I've been really trying to break. And I had broken it for a while, but I seem to slip back and forth into that a lot.
I tend to.
Any procrastinators in the chat?
I guess it's a form of procrastination. I tend to save the either the most difficult or the least desirable things for last. So like if I know it's gonna fucking suck, it's probably going on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
Like working on solid state bass amps. If I get 5 pieces in a day, 4 of them are tube amps, 1 of them's a solid state bass head. Guess which one's getting worked on last?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, fuck that thing.
Because I know not only is it going to be a motherfucker, not only is it going to piss me off from start to finish, but there's a really good likelihood that I'm not going to have the parts. So I could waste a whole bunch of time really pissing myself off and going out and smoking cigarettes because I'm mad, and then finding out I don't have the parts and then chasing the parts and getting those ordered. Or I could concentrate on the 4 things that I do have parts for that I could finish in, you know, a fraction of that time.
Yeah.
So I do that.
Well, see, that brings up the next, actually, productivity hack. And it's a perfect segue, 80-20 rule. Basically, well, so that, if you just cut out that 1 amp is causing you, 80% of, like, the headache, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, and that's you said 1 out of 5, so this is perfect too.
Yep.
So 20% of the inputs create 80% of the output. So, like, out of those 5 amps, if you cut that 1, yeah, you'd make less money, but you would save yourself so much time and aggravation.
Well, that making less money is the reason that I take those in.
Right.
Because
and that's the consideration with the rule of 80-20. But yeah. I think that's also very true in that...
so, like, when the going gets tough, the tough work on solid-state bass amps.
Right.
That's sort of how that is. Otherwise, fuck those things. For years, I went without even touching a solid-state thing, like, unless it was, you know, like your bass amp, 1,000-watt solid-state, fuck that thing, whatever piece of shit. Like, I wasn't working on it unless what it needed was, like, the pots cleaned or, like, had a broken jack.
Yeah.
But now, like, you know, because I need to eat and pay bills, you know, I also rebuild solid state power sections, much to my chagrin. Hate that shit. But you know, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, well, that's the consideration when you take something like that in, because the idea is, like, in any type of thing, in any type of situation, there's something that I think 20% of the input causes 80% of the output. So, like, also if you set aside an hour to write a song, and I think you can kind of see this in the video I did, the first, like, 12 minutes of it, I kind of wrote most of the song, and then the rest of it was filling it in. So, like, in the first, like, few minutes, I kind of had, like, 80% of my song essentially done. And that's, like, the kind of the point that it's important to get to, I think, is, like, figuring out, being okay with it, things being like 80%, 85%, 92% done, rather than having them be this perfect 100% done complete thing, because it's going to take you 20% of the time you set aside to do something to get 80% of whatever you're trying to get done. But then it's going to take you the rest of that 80% to get the other 20% of completion. So it's an interesting breakdown. That's something else I would like to get into more depth to in like a book situation or some sort of ebook, because then I took this all from Tim Ferriss. I think 4 Hour Work Week. He talks about this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
you must read a lot of his work, because it comes up a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of the last books I was really getting into. Was his stuff. I have a couple of his books somewhere, Tools of Titans, and yeah, I do bring up a lot of that stuff, because I think a lot of it's funny, because a lot of the people that he interviews, it is like a lot of professional actors. You know, he had like Arnold on his podcast and in his book, and Robert Rodriguez, who's like a filmmaker, but then he has like the guy that's like the president of like Anheuser-Busch, and like weird.
That's definitely a weird interview.
Yeah, it's like super weird.
What the fuck did that guy have to say? Buy more beer.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, just talking about like, I think like managing companies, and you know, how he gets things done. And but that's what's cool is like there's all these parallels. No matter if you're trying to make music, if you're trying to make beer, if you're trying to make blockbuster movies, if you're trying to be a bodybuilder, like across all those different disciplines, there are so many different, so many of similar tasks and similar ideas for productivity and ideas for like, getting things done or finishing projects. And that's whether your project is the next latest and greatest coding app or whether that project is your next, 5-song album or something, and that's why I find that stuff fascinating, because it's not like I don't give a shit about business so much. It's just that's continues to be something that comes up, and I like that stuff as like a hobby and thinking about that stuff because I find it interesting. But what's cool is when you're reading those things and then taking the information from it, which is applied to like a business thing, like the 80-20 rule. Again, like with your business and with Tim Ferriss's business, he realized that 20% of his customers were giving him 80% of a headache. So he said, well, fuck it, I'm just going to cut out. He changed his return policy to basically be more lenient, and that eliminated 80% of his headache while not really changing his productivity and bottom line. And it's like a win-win-win, Like the customer wins, he wins, and then his staff wins because it's like just all around less headaches, makes the whole operation smoother. And that's something I think is interesting to think about too, like even in terms of the channel and doing stuff. It's like I always say this, but there's certain aspects of the podcast that cause me like 80% of the headache when I'm doing any kind of content for the channel. And that's where I'm getting to. I'm like, but there's sometimes when I do it that's really fun and really easy. And I think I need to cut out that 20% of whatever it is I'm doing, in this case, the channel content, songs, whatever, podcast, and then do, either cut that out or pivot it and shift it into like a different idea, because if that's causing me that much aggravation, that's time and aggravation and negative energy I could be spending elsewhere and being more productive,
Totally.
But yeah, I don't know why I gravitate toward those kind of books. I don't really know.
I think it's you sort of have a consistent desire for a way to maybe help rationalize certain aspects of whatever life. I don't know. I think that's
why you think I'm like gravitating toward that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because I think somebody like that must write in a way that you can identify with, and it must be ideas in those books that you feel like either hold the key to some door for you, or they hold the key to helping you rationalize and explain certain aspects of other people's existence and how it relates to you.
Right.
That's what I think. But
yeah, I guess that's It's,
I don't read books, so I don't really know, man.
It's just it's funny though, because it's like it doesn't seem like it's not really stuff that's in the wheelhouse of what I really like strive for, but I just find like, especially the business stuff, like I'm not like a businessman.
Well,
that's something I always say I'm really bad at, is making money, It's like...
Yeah, but every person that's ever born that gets a social security number is a businessman.
Right, and that's
your own self.
That's something
it
sounds
soul.
Naive as shit, man, but I never realized like America is...
Every single person walking this country...
set up to be... If you want to start a business... Like,
you're a fucking sole proprietor from the time you're born.
That's what I mean, like, and I think that's the thing is, like, I never had that kind of like business-minded side to me where it was like, because there's some people that just want to come to America to just start a business because this is the best place in the world to start a business. But
well, especially if you move here, like there are incentives and payouts and grants and all sorts of shit if you're a new citizen who qualifies.
Right.
See,
I wasn't brought up like thinking like that. I was brought up thinking more of like, you find a good job at a different company or And what I really started realizing was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work for somebody else. I worked for somebody else for way too long, and I didn't get any of the things I wanted to get out of it. Make sure you do something you want to do today. And I guess that's also why, because I feel like more tuned to trying to make my own way, whether that's in some sort of entrepreneurial way or, I don't know. I think that's why that stuff's interesting to me. But also I think it's interesting as a creative person because I think there's, again, a lot of parallels between the creativity of starting your own business and the creativity of starting your own band and recording an album. Because in a lot of ways, a band is a business.
Absolutely.
It's just not. A lot of people don't think about it that way. I never used to think about it that way. But even if you don't think about it that way, there are so many parallels to.
Well, I think you always have to think about it like that, but you can't let that dictate anything about it, or else the creativity is like just turns into a fucking pile of turds.
Right.
It's, you know.
And it's like it's not that you have to do things in a business fashion, but you have to realize that in a lot of ways you're selling something.
Right, and what a lot of people don't really,
whether you're making money from it or not.
What a lot of people probably don't realize about bands is like the bands that you see out on these giant tours and stuff. You're not watching a band, you're watching a corporation on a stage.
Right.
Because that's what you do. You form a corporation around that band.
Well,
that
like
becomes
Bon Jovi.
Everybody's tax shelter. That's
the whole Bon Jovi thing.
That's like I don't know, man. I mean, like.
Well, like the dudes in his band are basically they're basically considered his employees.
Yeah, but what generally happens is a corporation is formed. One person is named president. It's usually whoever is the most responsible with money and decisions. And then everybody else becomes an officer of that corporation. You record your minutes, all of your expenses get deducted, the corporation pays the members, and at the end you do corporate taxes and everybody does their 1040 regular old income taxes.
Right.
That's how it works. And that corporation is a tax shelter for the members. It limits your risk, it limits your liability for anything that, whatever. I mean, as a band, I don't know what the fuck you could possibly be liable for, but I guess it would shield you if like there was ever a dispute legally about something, you know. Whatever that thing is would go after the corporation instead of going after the individual members.
Right.
But that's how it's, that's how it's done.
Interesting.
You build corporate bank accounts that all your band money and shit goes into, like, even on lower level, like sort of like on the DIY tour stuff, it's not uncommon at all. In fact, Joe Gagliardi is a corporation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's got a lot of different.
He's one of many that I know that have already done it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's some things in the chat coming through. I was gonna get to. Let me see. Sorry,
yeah. I've been sort of like off in fucking la la land here.
Yeah. Mike, do you read a lot of inspirational, motivational books or watch? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say I don't think I read any more than like a normal person, but I definitely like those kind of things. Definitely watch some Tony Robbins things, and Tim Ferriss I feel like is basically a motivational guy. I think that's kind of where I got heard about a lot of these other motivational people. I say between those two guys, that's probably Gary Vaynerchuk. I enjoy watching and his stuff. I think is really inspiring, and yeah, I guess I do a couple. Turtleneck, do you or anybody else here have music you think should be checked out? There's a thread in the forum about everybody's 4-track stuff if you want to add stuff to that and check out some stuff there. I think it's under the 4-track section. Maybe somebody could link it. Matt said, I gotta just stop dicking around and record stuff regardless of how lame I think it sounds. I'm too critical. I've gotten to where I don't think the song's better than the last. I don't want to share. Well, that's good though, Matt. I mean, it's good that you have a barometer, I think, for your own stuff. Because I'm definitely at that point too. But I think that's the thing is I would say in general, 1 out of every 4 song that I write is one I consider to be a keeper. There's tons of tracks I have sitting on my computer and places on my hard drive that I haven't put out because I don't think it's that great. It's kind of the bottleneck, the funnel. If you don't think it's that great, then don't share it. But every song.
Well, it's not the router. That's still showing connected.
This looks like we're still super weird. Okay, here we go. Let's see. It looks like it's pretty
choppy.
I don't know, man. I got a
choppy.
I don't know, man. I got like a new route. If it does anything better. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That's really weird. It seems like it's back. Yeah, the internet looks fine. Yeah, that's the thing. I got a new router. Hooked up this. Yeah, the internet looks fine. Yeah, that's the thing. I got a new router. Hooked up this new router. It seems like it was fine. It seems like we got further along than we usually do. With it being okay. I think it's all right. I think it's all right. Where can I hear your stuff? Can you guys hear us? Is the stream tripping out? Just throw up like a 1 or something in the chat if it's looking all right, or just give us some feedback here if it seems like you can hear us. I don't know. Having some trouble monitoring this. It looks like it's going here on the phone, but all right, Matt's got the 1 there. All right, so I guess that's not too stuttery. I think we dropped out though, right?
Yeah, Bean Trees. I also tend to release basically everything that I do, or that we do, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's 2 schools of thought on that. I'm not really a fan of the process of weeding out. I'm a fan of the process of seeing every idea to the most solid fruition you can bring it to, and learning from that after the fact.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Jay. Is like I think every single thing that you do is something that you can learn from.
Sure.
And every idea that you complete, whether you think it's good or not, is just gets you one step closer to
whatever the next thing is.
Exactly. And you won't get to that next thing unless you go. The only way out is through, right? You won't get to that next idea unless you go through a couple not so great ideas, or a couple ideas that are going to take longer to work on. Like I feel like that's just part of the woodshedding, part of the process. You know, I feel like there's a couple ways to look at it, because I definitely don't put out everything, but I think what Turtleneck was saying, that's good advice too. Like, just stack parts then. If what you're working on isn't like coming to be a full idea, and you can't get it to be a full idea, that's like a built to spill trick, I think, and something I've heard Doug Marsh talk about is like some of those earlier built to spill albums, or like the way he writes albums or his writing albums, was just they would just woodshed parts and then either record those parts or remember those parts and then
fucking slam it together.
Slam that shit together, and you can, and like that makes for some really interesting music. Like Keep It Like a Secret, Perfect From Now On, especially like those albums, from what I understand, are basically going into the studio, going into the practice space, and you know, woodshedding and building these parts and building all these pieces, and then once you have 100 pieces, spread them all out on the floor and see how they go together. Like, that's a cool process if that works for you. You know, if you have like writer's block or something, like you know, and that's also another tip I've always heard. I brought up on the stream before with writer's block and lyrics. It's like, just come up with one word that you like, you know, and then just come up with another one and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Time's up from you guys. Gotta bail. Hey, Easy, thanks for coming through. Good to see you're still out there.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Bohemian Rhapsody, and thanks for coming through. It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you always. Come back anytime. Always love having you in the chat, Easy. Thanks for coming through.
Easy's in the U.S., right?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Have a good
Oh
holiday.
yeah, have a happy Thanksgiving, bro. Okay, it looks like everything's back over here. I wonder if it had something to do with the microwave. Beck was using the microwave there.
Who the fuck knows, man?
Well, so
unpredictable, that son of a bitch.
Yeah. But Matt, I would say don't be like, that's something I said too, is like, don't be precious about it, you know, just get stuff done and move on and get it to a point where, like I said in that video, 80% is good enough. Again, like back to the 80-20 rule thing. If you spend an hour writing a song, in the first 12 minutes, the first 20%, you'll have roughly 80% of the idea done. To me, that's a victory, and that's something you can work with. You can either work with, see it through for that rest of that hour, see it through for the rest of that day, or put it on the shelf and come back to it, or just, you know, that's another part that you did, another thing you completed, and move on to the next one. Like, I think that's the craziest thing. I mean, it's like a writing thing. Somebody said, "Don't kill your darlings," meaning basically like the stuff that even the stuff that you think is good, or if you think if it's not good, but it's something that's precious to you, just don't be precious about it. You gotta. I feel like it comes down to just again, like these all sound like cliches, but the only way out is through. Like the way to make good songs is to write a lot of not great ones, you know.
Yep.
And like Jay was saying too, you learn from every single experiment you do, from every single thing you set to record. So
as long as you're paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah,
Make
I think if you're not,
make sure your hindsight is really well tuned up, because you won't learn a damn thing if you just keep feeding it out there and expecting, you know.
Yeah, there's a right way to practice and a wrong way to practice, I guess is a good way of putting it too.
I also would say with music, there's no such thing as magic. You know, it's like you gotta do the work. And you have to look at all the aspects of it. There's no like,
yeah,
you know, you can't just lock into some fucking formula and have, you know, fucking rainbows and unicorns shoot out of the end of your guitar and out your asshole. It's not how it works, man. You got to do the work, and you got to, you know, especially if you're trying to do something that's aiming you towards some sort of commercial success, you have to be paying attention to what the failure rate is of your material.
Yeah.
You know, if you put out some shit and like nobody pays attention to any of it, then you need to figure out why that is. And start working that way.
If that's what your goal is.
Yeah. Or if too many people pay attention to it and you want to stay a small guy, then change it the other way.
Yeah.
You know, put some real ugly shit in there. People hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, well that's the thing. That's what I try to say too, is like I was trying to say about like the, you know, 1 out of every 4 songs, like, well there's like also what you said brought up a quote from what's his name? Bukowski. I don't know if you guys ever read any Charles Bukowski, but you know, he's like known for being like I don't know. He's an American writer, but one of his quotes is like the best time writing always comes out the best when or the best things I ever wrote were come out like after a night of like binge drinking where you just have like take a shit and it's just like just falling out of your asshole. Like there's some times when that happens and like you're like, this goes back to the magic thing. Like most of the time it's not like that. Most of the time it's like,
unless you consider inspiration
you gotta put the
to
work
be magic.
Right, but there are times when you could sit down to write something. I feel like this way about a lot of the stuff on Just a Trick. Bobby, I saw your thing about the tapes. Definitely soon. Something happened with the National Audio Company site. It wasn't letting me order the stuff I needed to order for that, so I'm gonna have to call them up and see what's up. But you know, I felt like a lot of that stuff did come out like that Bukowski idea. It just fucking flowed out and was great. But that's not the norm. Usually it's I have to woodshed something like 15% of the time I felt like I was really on, and then or like with 25% of the time I feel like I'm really on. The other 75% of the time is like that like sweating and that like, you know, another quote is like writing is like trying to make like a drop of blood come out of a piece of paper. It's like it's a lot
blood from a stone, man.
It's a lot of fucking work. It's hard work, you know, but you got to put that time in. You got to woodshed those things that aren't going to be the best. But you will, but with the satisfaction that that's something that you come up with. Maybe the next thing, you know, it's like with albums, right? Who putting shit out, like, you know, people always say your breakout album or like your breakthrough album, like whatever, if that's even something you believe in or think exists. But what if you're 10 albums away, Matt, from putting out like this unbelievably amazing album that changes your life? Like you're not going to know that if you stop making stuff now, you know. But maybe it's going to take you to write 10 or 9 other albums to get there. Like that's the fucking game, man. Like if that's what your goal is, I don't know, but you know, if it means like you have to write 9 albums worth of like not great stuff to make that 10th album be this something that's like you feel like you finally arrived to where you wanted to get to, like I don't know. That seems like one of the only real. I don't know. That seems to be the whole purpose of the process, if that makes sense. That's what I try to think of. You know, it's like, I don't know, with the channel, like I'm doing this for 61 streams deep. We've learned a lot, and maybe it'll take to stream 2,000 for the really find the flow. I don't think that's the case. I think we have a good flow, and technical issues aside, it seems great. But same with the videos. It's like, I don't know, I've done like probably 170 videos, you know, not counting the streams or whatever. And it's like, maybe it's gonna take me 1,000 fucking videos to figure out like how to do everything with this stuff. But you know, I'm not gonna know that unless I make 1,000 videos. You know, maybe it'll be 500, maybe it'll be 15,000. Like, I don't fucking know. But the point is, like, it's gonna be, you gotta make a lot of you gotta just make a lot of stuff and just keep moving forward. And the other thing too is like something I was talking about with Jeremy is like taste. You know, it's like when you first start, a lot, you know, you probably have really good taste, but your ability to create is not up to that taste level. So, you know, it's going to take a lot of time to get your ability to create things, even with your level of taste. Like, you may have really good taste in music, and you may have really good taste in the things that you like, but your ability to execute and make those get to that level of taste that you want to make stuff at, it might take you 10 years, it might take you 15 years, it might take you 20 years, it might take you 100 albums of writing stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I don't believe in like the myth of like the creative genius, or like, and I know like we always bring up Kevin Shields, we might as well bring him up again.
Jesus,
My Bloody Valentine, you know, everybody says it's like genius stuff, it's the most amazing, like perfect album. I mean, you know, I guarantee that guy has made a lot of other music that nobody's ever heard.
Sure.
Or he's just put all that work into those few albums, but like, I don't know, if the guys would have put out albums like once every 20 years or once, you know, every 10 years, like that's a lot of time in between albums, you know, like, I don't know. It's also the Dave Grohl thing with the first Foo Fighters album. We were talking about this, like a lot that album
It was never supposed to even be a thing.
Right, and it was also culled down from, I think, a collection of like 42 songs or something, and there's 10 on the album.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's a similar thing to what I was saying about, I think 1 out of every 4 songs I write is one that's like, great. I think it's great. So maybe for the next thing you write, Matt, maybe it's going to take you, maybe you should try writing 40 tracks and then picking the best 10.
I mean, Place to Bury Strangers writes the same way. There's a ton of bands that have done that, you know? You build a big-ass batch of tunes. I don't know how the fuck you write 50 songs and then don't use 50 songs. Like, if I wrote 50 songs, there'd be 50 new fucking songs coming out. Like,
well, that's the other thing, too.
Because there's so much shit that gets... Yeah, I guess. But there's so much shit that gets thrown away just in the course of writing it that, like, if I managed to...
I think that's where you have a good bullshit detector. You have like a good...
I guess.
You throw out the stuff that you know. Because I remember you guys were saying, like, with the stuff we jam on stuff, and then the stuff we remember we keep jamming and make that into a song.
Yeah.
You're basically doing the 50 songs, but you're just not keeping 40 of them.
Pretty much. Because
if you recorded all those jams and made those into songs, those would be the 40 that you'd be dispatching of, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's just... like, you know, Michael Jackson, they did the same thing with him in the studio, yeah, like, it's like 50 or 60 songs, and, like, what they actually fleshed out and made a record from was, you know.
What the fuck? There you go.
Back on it now?
We're back, I think.
Jesus.
Holy shit. For getting a new router, this is, like, some massive issues here. All right, well, we're back, it appears. I don't know, sorry about that. App crash. Thanks, Jay. Yo, David, what's up, buddy? Beard's getting out of control. Thanks. Oh, Bobby, he said, you're so positive, Mike. You really helped me out. My manic depression at times. Oh, my pleasure, man. Yeah, I know what that's about, man. I've been there. Not so much the manic part, but I know all about the other part. That's great. I'm glad that this stuff is inspirational and inspiring to you, and yeah, I think that's what it's all about, man. talking about it and being positive. Like that's, you got to be positive. So my pleasure. No such thing as magic, but you're the wizard.
Well, I'm the wizard sitting here telling you there's no such thing as fucking magic. So do with that as you will.
That's
Do with that as you will.
Mike's buddy vibe. Nice. Thanks, man. Thanks, Matt. David, what's up, buddy? So what other types of videos would you like to do, Mike? I don't know. What other types would you like me to do? I want to focus on doing more of those, like, again, like inspirational, motivational stuff toward creative thoughts, and you know, like taking some of those podcast ideas, a lot of the stuff we talked about tonight on the live stream, and either making that into like a book or some sort of video series or some sort of, you know, series about getting shit done. Because it seems like a lot of people have, and I was one of those people, like either perfectionist tendencies or something that's not allowing them to get something done. That's why I did that hour video thing this week about writing a song in an hour, because I wanted to show, like, hey, even if you only have an hour to fucking work on something, 1 hour out of your, you know, I don't even know how many hours you have in a week, you know, besides sleeping. Let's say you sleep 8 hours a day, so that leaves you with 14 hours, or no, 16 hours, right, in a day. So you got to work for 8 of them. That means you have 8 left. And say you got family and things to do. I think in a day, like, you know, if you have an hour, if you have only an hour to watch Netflix or write a song, man, like, I don't know. And if you want to watch Netflix, do it. But if you want to write a song, like, it's doable. Like, time doesn't have to be an issue. Like, that's something Joel was saying too. Like, on the comments of that video, is like, this is so cool, the technology we have to help us create things today. And it's true. Like, I did that shit on the computer mainly because I was a little bit nervous about it, because I didn't want to talk a big game and then not be able to do it on the 4-track. But I think next week that might be something explored, or maybe once a week this might be a new live thing. I mean, I'm thinking maybe Tuesdays, booting up the stream for an hour and blasting out a track. Maybe we could do one here, we could do one at Jay's once in a while, or, you know, figure something out if that's something that's if you're interested in, Jay.
Yeah, maybe.
And just like, I don't know, because that's essentially what I do sometimes. I just sit down and I have some time and make a fucking song. Maybe we'll schedule it out and you guys can come along and either help write it or work concurrently on your own material during that hour. Like, that's something we were talking about doing, like a practice stream or something along those lines. Like, because I'm going to be doing it regardless. It might not be as interactive as, say, these type of streams, but maybe just the fact that I'm showing up and putting it out there that I'm showing up, it'll inspire you to show up and get your work done too, and get your tracks done as well. So maybe something like that. I don't know. That's kind of the thing. I don't know if you guys realize, like, I've been putting out a lot of stuff every weekday. I've been trying to put out at least one video at 3 p.m. Trying out a lot of different videos, like the news kind of videos with, like, that band Threaten, which is, it's funny because I feel like that's already sort of died out in a way. Just the 1 week news cycle idea. But also just, like, you know, like the Roland Cloud service. Some of those other news articles I was doing, the Sonic Youth one. I was just trying out some new different type of content that, again, I can blast out a video like that in an hour or around. You know, it takes me 5 minutes to shoot it, to talk about it, and then put it up. You know, so I don't know. I was thinking about trying to do more stuff like that, just doing more types of content, more types of tutorials, maybe some longer form tutorials about the Digitakt. I have a whole list of 4-track stuff that could be done. It's really just a matter of how and when and why, I guess. Because, like, part of it is I just don't want to get burned out on certain types of stuff. But I don't know. I'm kind of trying to. The channel is in sort of an experimental phase in terms of the filmed content. I'm really trying to think about some things, and I'm also thinking about doing more stuff live, like a video, if it makes sense, about a tutorial on how to do something, just making it a live video and doing it in real time. If people are in the chat, cool. If not, cool. And then, because that's something with the podcast I kept saying, is that what's annoying about it is uploading the videos for it, which I like to do, and shoot the videos, but, like, there's a lot of technological barriers to that. And it's really hard to upload shit. So I'd really like to be able to maybe just stream those interviews, and then they'll be online, and then people can interact and chat while we're streaming or ask questions or something. So
Yeah,
all things in the future. What's your favorite album? Hey Luca, what's up? What's your favorite album recorded in a 424? Let's see. I really like it's not like one of my favorite albums. I really like the album though, and I think it's actually on a 414, but More Parts Per Million by the Thermals. I think it's a really cool album recorded on a 4-track because whether you like the Thermals or not, and I'm not like a mega fan of the Thermals, but I think that album really captures the like the essence of 4-tracking, I think, and like you can just hear that it's, you know, the guy did it all himself, and you can just hear like the energy of like just wanting to record a bunch of stuff like in a way that you could like really quickly. I don't know. I really like that album. It's one of my top ones these days. You're right, bro.
I've never heard them. Yeah. Yeah, my eye's doing the fucking.
Yeah, Jay got hit in the eye today by a piece of solder. Was it?
It was a twist tab. There's a lock tabs on the bottom of the old Mallory style multi-capacitor cans, and I cut one of those tabs because I couldn't get it to untwist. It was too solder laden. I cut one and it fucking flew off and popped me right in the eye, and now every once in a while my eye has a freak out, which is what it's doing right now.
Shit, man.
So it like tears up and gets all fucking crazy, and my nose runs, and so I gotta just kind of wait it out.
Capro just rolled in for his evening checkout.
Here he is.
You like it? Snatch him
I'm
up.
sitting here fucking Popeye-ing, trying to keep it together. David, no, I didn't see your question.
Capro. Oh yeah, sorry. The chat, my chat keeps defaulting to live to top chat, and I feel like I'm missing a lot of
David,
these.
you're talking about the selenium rectifiers? Is that the question? It depends how old the pieces are. I mean, the selenium rectifiers should have been basically out of use by, you know, like, I don't know, the early 70s or so. So you'll know if you have one if you open it up and the part of the power supply is a bunch of, you know, like 3/8 square plates all stacked up. That's a selenium rectifier, and they kind of, when they get hot or when they burn out, they kind of smell like, I don't know, like a fucking sulfur fart or something. It's kind of funky. Not like the standard electronic smell. It's a different thing. So if that's what you're smelling, that could be it. They also give that odor off at least slightly when they get hot. Whether you notice it or not would depend on where they're being stored, or, you know, if they're in an enclosed cabinet or whatever. But I hate those fucking things. Cut that piece of shit out and put a silicon diode in there. That's all you need.
Bobby said you can now wear a pirate eye patch.
Yo, no shit. I was driving around before with sunglasses on, and I was thinking, man, I should have a fucking iPad.
What if you just close it?
It doesn't really work that way, because when it's having a big freak out, it forces the other eye to close too. There's too much like connectivity there.
You would look boss. Yeah, you would look like a boss, man.
God.
Hey, Steven, what's up? Hey, Jody, what's going on? I didn't see you guys pop in here. That's cool. I gotta check that one out, Jody.
So, David, does that answer the question, or?
Cool. Oh yeah, the selenium. I feel like I don't know. That's a rectifier.
One more note on that selenium thing. In most applications, you could put 1N4007 diode directly in place of a single selenium rectifier cell, whatever. The seleniums have a wattage rating. but there's very few cases where you can't just replace that with either a single or maybe 2 or even 3 diodes in a string if you have to. It's, you know, and you're talking about a thing that's literally made out of a poisonous heavy metal sitting inside of your equipment, where you can spend 7 cents or less for that single silicon diode and get rid of the whole mess and the heat and all the bullshit that goes with it. So.
Oh, Matt, coming out with an interesting question for Jay. Have you ever rode a motorcycle?
A motorcycle proper? No, I've owned an enduro dirt bike before. I do not possess a motorcycle license. So.
I know my champ at one time. I don't know. I don't think it's the same thing, but yeah, I like was using it, and I like just basically blew it up, and it had this weird like not quite sulfury, but something blew on it. It was like either a capacitor or.
Well, caps.
What would it have been?
Definitely have a funky smell. Resistors sort of.
Oh, maybe I think it was a resistor. Yeah.
Yeah, resistors kind of smell.
Because I was thinking maybe that could be something that David, he said they both have a real strong smell. One is a TAC, a really strong smell. I was trying to figure out what caused it. Because I know like even in the champ something, I believe it was a resistor. And it had like a really.
It's kind of a biting smell. I don't know. It's not like putrid though. It's kind of metallic and.
Yeah.
It smells like.
I'm trying to think of like how to describe what it smelled like. It's like.
Kind of smells like if you put like cotton in a fire or something. I don't even know. It's got like this weird fucking kind of sort of smells like that.
It's like
but you know, and then Transformers have their own very distinct smell when you let the magic smoke out of them.
It's like a very distinct, like when that rectifier or when that resistor blew or whatever it was, it had like such a very I remember describing it because this is when I was bringing my stuff to Chris Davis, and I remember describing it to him. This is a while ago. Just like a chemically like.
Yeah, sort of.
But like almost like earthy. I don't know.
So I mean, when you open the back panel.
Can somebody draw? Are you guys artists? Can somebody draw that picture of Jay with an eye patch on like?
If it's the selenium rectifier, there's a bunch of plates all stacked up, big ones and slightly smaller ones in sequence. Be like a bolt running through it, and then a tab on either end. That is basically your anode and cathode. So if that's what it is, I mean that could be a source of the smell. But
Strap 2's back.
You know, I would bet that the TAC thing probably has has silicon based rectifiers or maybe germaniums, but I doubt it.
Oh, it was almost like an electrical kind of odor to it. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I mean, but
like some electrical component burned. Like, you know, it's something
generally
electrical burns out.
The smell of electrical, like what people call an electrical odor, is like the loss of copper. That's generally what you're smelling when you smell electronics. But I don't know.
Electricity. Should we do a quick noise interlude?
It's up to you, man.
Do not adjust your audio.
You gotta tune it to 100. Right around 100 is like a magic thing. Hold them both down, and then go toward 100. Right in there. Like, if you center in on that frequency, you can hear it doing it already.
right, now that we lost like half of the people that are in here.
Hey, what's up there, Charles?
Hey, Charles. You know, if you guys haven't checked out the video, I made like a beat with. This is an old alarm clock that Jay had. He was getting rid of it, and he circuit bent it. How many years ago was this, Jay?
I don't know. At least a few. I don't know.
And basically, it's like it's circuit
Long
bent.
enough ago that I forgot I even had the fucking thing. How about
Yeah,
that?
when I was over at Jay's last week for the stream, I picked this thing up, and it's just a circuit bent alarm clock, and it makes noise. But last week or this week, I think on Monday, or no, maybe it was last week, I made a video about making a beat with it, and it was really fun. So check that out. In case you're wondering what this thing was, I just realized maybe not everybody saw that. So, but yeah.
So Charles, you were able to use the samples and stuff in the track?
Oh yeah, I gotta check that out, Charles. I hadn't had a chance to check it out before the stream. Oh, Will was here? I didn't even see him.
I think real early on, right?
Oh, awesome, Steven. He said, just got a Wii 4-track today. Gonna try to record tomorrow. I love the channel, man. Thanks, Steven.
I got to listen to some of the track before I left to come down to Mike's. Only on the phone, though. I haven't put it through the car yet.
Yeah, I didn't have. I saw that you sent the email, and then we were chatting about it, but didn't get a chance to check it out yet. I'll definitely send you something either tonight or probably tomorrow, Thanksgiving. So, yeah, if anybody in the States, if you're in the States, happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. If you celebrate. I guess if you're in the UK, it's just another regular day.
Charles, did you get to use those samples? Is that what I was hearing on there? Kind of sounds like it.
Oh, hey, Stefan, what's up, bro? Thanks for coming through. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
No, huh? Well, that sucks. Yeah, we'll give it a listen in the car after we get off the stream.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's fucking cold out here tonight. It's supposed to be like 12 degrees, so I don't know how much walking we'll be doing.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
The cat, bro.
Capro's chilling.
What are you doing, buddy?
See if I can pick him up again. Come here.
No.
Oh, he's receptive. He's receptive. We got him. We got the Capro. Yeah, one of the other conspiracies on the channel is that Capro is running the whole thing from behind the scenes.
Fucking put me down.
Okay, he's busy. He's got stuff to do. Not that I didn't want to. I just forgot at the time of mixing it. Oh, you just said you did. Oh, weird. It sounded like you were convinced that I had used it.
You definitely used something different than what was on the original mix.
Cool.
And you sound very similar to the sort of samples that I sent along. But hey, that's all good. Use them some other time.
I thought I had something new I wanted to show people, but I don't think I did. Yeah, good luck with the recording. Oh, one thing I was thinking of, Black Friday. I don't know. I know there's a couple things going on in the chat, but Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, traditionally is a shopping day. There's a lot of music sales, and I was thinking as a way to protest the music sales, do some sort of like 8-hour, all-day live stream of just fucking making music.
Jesus.
What do you guys think? It's crazy. It sounds crazy. And I don't know, 8 hours might be a lot, but maybe at some point on Black Friday, we'll do some sort of stream of just fucking, instead of going to buy shit because you want to make music, let's just make some music. So I don't know if that sounds interesting.
I thought you were going to say that like you're going to up the prices of all your Reverb listings or whatever.
Oh, that
for your anti-Black Friday.
Anti-Black Friday.
Fuck you. Price went up.
I just think like there's always like a ton of like, you know, check out our Black Friday deals. Like you need this shit to like, you know. I thought it would be funny to just say, oh fuck that, we're just gonna make music with what we got.
Buy some more stuff that you're gonna throw away soon.
Stefan said, I'm playing a show on Black Friday. I'm telling people not to buy anything except my CD single. There you go.
Yeah. Don't buy anything unless it's from me.
Oh, okay. David said, y'all should try sitting around a 250 watt incandescent light bulb to compensate for the negative and diurnal effects of darkness during the winter. Yeah, I think the ones, I don't know what the ones I have here are right now. I have two huge lights that I got new ones.
Those aren't incandescents, it's LED.
Oh, it's got to be incandescent ones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
250 watts to give you a fucking sunburn now, Jesus.
Holy shit, yeah.
That's a mogul base bulb, probably. Big fucking base.
Yeah. I think I definitely get the SADs, man.
Yeah, it happens.
Seasonal affective disorder. I mean, I was, even today, like it's just crazy how dark it's getting. And I mean, we still have a whole month of it still getting darker at night. It's like, this time of year is just, I don't know.
I think the worst part is that, like, we got snow and it stayed.
Yeah, right.
It's like, you know, fucking November, man. Didn't even get to clean up fucking leaves and it snowed and the shit's not going anywhere.
Such a weird, such a strange year right this year for weather, I feel like.
Yeah,
Embrace the darkness. Hey.
I can't remember in the last 10 years having to plow a snowstorm before December. Yeah, already got one in.
Charles said, sounds badass, let's cure gas. Let's do it. Maybe that's what it'll be called. The 424 recording, all day create-a-thon, marathon.
The anti-gas.
Anti-gas race for the cure.
Yeah. Getting awesome session.
Race for the cure. I'm trying to think of the Office thing. It's like the Michael Scott. Hold on. I was just watching that episode. Michael Scott, rabies. There's like an episode where he's trying to cure rabies or like make rabies awareness. Oh, that's sick. Of course you can buy a t-shirt. Let's see. It says the Michael Scott's Dunder Mifflin Scranton Meredith Palmer Memorial Celebrity Rabies Awareness Pro-Am Fun Run Race.
Jesus Christ.
For the cure. So
what a fucking name, huh?
Yeah. Celebrity Rabies Awareness Pro-Am Fun Run Race for the Cure. Yeah, so we're going to make that into something. I think I'm just going to get this shirt. That's sick. Everything on sale. Prices will increase in 30 minutes. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so that's we'll have to maybe make a title like that for the all-day streamathon. I've always wanted to do like I think the most you can stream is 8 hours and then it cuts you off. So I was like, I always wanted to try to do one. Should probably try to do one that's like 4 hours first though.
Trying to go with it till you hit fuel cut and it shuts you down.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe just start a stream off. I haven't drank coffee in a while. I was thinking maybe make a big pot of coffee Black Friday morning.
The segment's called Mike Takes a Shit.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that first.
Jesus Christ. You have to
Well, I just thought it would be cool.
Put him
like,
outside the bathroom door. You have like a little lapel mic on and shit. Follow me through a whole day.
I'll just put the phone on a screen. It's like technical difficulties for a second.
There you go. Boop.
I just thought that would be funny though. Like thinking of a fun way to do something for Black Friday that wasn't, or maybe just a video that's just like, yo, here's the secret to Black Friday. You don't need anything. Just make music. I don't know. That's something else. You know, like pandering to companies and things like that. I was thinking about a lot as like, you know, as the channel gets bigger, it seems like there's certain companies that, you know, are willing to either like you can review stuff for them or whatever. They'll sponsor your stuff, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's like, yeah, it'd be cool. But at the same time, it's like pandering to some company's message just because it's like their message of like, I don't know. I guess if it's a company I believed in or like was willing to be behind, you know. But what do you think about that? Like pandering to, because I know that your take on that is definitely like do what you want to do, no holds barred. Don't worry about what other.
I mean, if somebody wanted to send me shit to check out, I would definitely check it out. But just because you sent it doesn't mean it's going to get a favorable
well, that's
mark.
I guess that's what I mean. Like a lot of those places, I feel like send you shit because it's like
they're looking for the high marks.
they want you to give a favorable review because then the people that watch your stuff will like buy it. And
Pretty unlikely. If it sucks, I'm going to tell you.
well, that's what I mean. Like I'm not gonna like pander to people, and that's why I'm kind of like with the Black Friday thing. It's like
Put it this way: if you send it to me for a positive review and it sucks, and I give it a negative review, you can have it back.
right.
Because if it sucked, I don't want it anyway.
Right.
So fuck you, take it. I'm not paying the shipping though.
Yeah, I just wonder about that sometimes. Like, I mean, I don't want to be like talking shit on companies and things, but at the same time, it's like
No, that's not directed at anyone specific.
no, I know, but like there's been other videos and things I put up about companies and things, and it's like I wonder about it, but at the same time, I'm like I don't give a fuck because I just want to do what I want to do. But then it's like, if like Electron reached out and like sent me something, I would probably try it out and love it because I think that's a great company I could get behind. If Art sent me something, that's awesome. But because that's stuff I think is cool. It's priced right, whatever. But it's just weird. It's just like one of those things where
Applied research and technology.
apply research. I just feel like it's weird, man. It's like I guess I'm just going along the lines of like protesting Black Friday idea. It's like because all these companies just want to sell shit and want to have these sales and Guitar Center and because then I feel like Guitar Center would never turn around and be like, yo, you want to like raise awareness for our Black Friday sale? I guess it would just never happen anyway, so what's there to worry about?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, Turtleneck. We got a good blast of snow, I think Thursday evening. Okay, the live chat is back.
Oh, I'm in fucking top chat again. God damn it.
Wait, what is that, Stefan? Reminds me of the time Lester Bangs gave Zappa a negative review and Cream and Zappa was mad because he took an ad out in that edition. That's funny.
David, it was snowing on my way down here too. Fucking sucks.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, man.
10 degrees in Montreal right now. It's supposed to be, I think, in Saugerties it was supposed to top out at 12 tonight. Or
Wow.
bottom out at 12, I guess. And then tomorrow it's not supposed to break 20. Fucking
Yikes.
bullshit, man. Like, we
Yikes.
don't usually see that. There's been Christmases, like, where the grass was still green.
Where it's like warm, yeah.
Yeah, I'm outside like this. Fuck, I'm not going outside like this. I got like a fleece lined jacket and shit I'm wearing. Like,
Yeah.
like it's fucking Alaska and shit. I'm out on the Kenai.
I know, it's so unseasonably warm or something. It's bizarre, man. I mean, unseasonably
Cold.
cold. Just like so strange, man. The weather has been so weird. It went from essentially summer to winter, That's the thing too. There was maybe a good week's worth of days where it was like, oh, it's fall. And all the rest of the time it was like
Cold and raining, or it was hotter
Yeah.
than balls and raining.
oh, it's all good, Charles. Thanks for coming through. We'll definitely be checking that out. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Yeah, we're gonna be bouncing in a minute here, but I just saw that it was 9 p.m. exactly.
Yeah, time to roll. Time
so-
to roll.
I don't know. Friday thing. Tomorrow, the podcast coming out. Check it out. 8 a.m. Eastern, and then 3 p.m. I'll put up the video. It's just me and Tim talking about social media in a similar format to this, the Letterman style.
-20. Fuck.
And then
Oh man.
Capro's going to be coming on the stream on Friday. It's going to be a Capro stream all day. And it's
Oh yeah, we should talk about suburban diner trip too.
oh yeah, at some point we're thinking about heading down to the Suburban Diner in New Jersey.
It's really fucking
for
good.
a stream or something. That's
Thinking
gonna be
about like
fun.
streaming on the way there and doing a stream through the process of it, and then
Yeah, so we had a pretty fun stream last week. We went to the diner. I don't know if we'll do the same this week, right? Because
it's cold as
Might
fuck.
be too
We might
cold.
walk up to like Bacchus or something. I don't know.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be too cold for the loop.
Yeah.
We have like a loop that we walk through New Paltz, but
we might save that for another.
Yeah, it
When
might
it's
be
not
a little
so
too
cold.
fucking brick for that shit.
And I don't know what's up with this. I gotta figure out what's up with my phone now too. With this, the audio thing is really. I hope it just needs to be restarted, but I have a feeling that before I kind of like yanked it by accident with my headphones in it, and now I'm thinking like, yeah, it might be fucked up. Shit. All right, well, yeah. So maybe Friday, if you guys keep an eye out. If you're not doing anything, I'm gonna be around, so I might be doing.
Bobby
an
said
8-hour
head
stream.
to Texas. Y'all can crash there. I got you covered.
All right, that sounds good, man.
Everybody, field trip to Bobby's.
Field trip. Yeah, Suburban Diner. So where is that exactly? New Jersey?
It's in New Jersey.
Yeah, that would be a fun stream. Just we'll head to that. And
I
do you
was
think that's
thinking
gonna be
with
like
it
a winter one or?
I was thinking with it being so fucking cold and shitty and we can't walk, maybe we should do it like next week or the week after or something.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea.
Because then we'd be warm in the fucking car. We can do the stream. We eat the food. We go back and
Yeah. That's a
it's
good
like
point.
an hour and change either way, or either direction.
So we'll
Plus
go there. We'll start the stream. I guess
Here-ish
we'll
or
meet
whatever.
here or
Yeah.
meet at the parking lot or something.
Oh, just meet here.
All right, and then start the stream.
I don't want to park in the fucking parking lot. That's too much exposure.
Okay, and then we'll shoot down to the diner.
Yeah.
Have the meal, stream the meal, right?
Yeah.
And then come back.
We'll stream our hands on the food and
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
keep
yeah.
talking to you. And
That was cool last
I
week.
got a thing figured out too for the charging. Amazon for some
Oh.
reason sent me this lithium ion remote charger pack.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea why. It just showed up one day. Like I didn't order it. There's no statement billing. Had my address on it. No fucking idea. So I got
It
this
was
free.
meant to be.
Yeah, it's like it's a 15. What is it? A 1500 milliamp hour lithium ion battery.
1500 milliamp. Wow.
So you plug it in. It looks like an external hard drive.
Yeah.
You plug it in and charge it overnight, but that would be good for like the stream stuff because you can just jack your USB thing right in and hook the port up.
Yeah, my phone died so quickly last week.
That's what I was thinking.
Because we had it plugged in at the studio, and then it was like, cool. I might try to even get a new phone soon, and that, especially now if this jack is busted. I don't know, man. TascFest. What's going on with TascFest?
What part of Jersey? It's I guess it's like technically North Jersey, but I know there's like debates about all that
that's
shit.
right. That's right. James is from
But
there.
if you Google the Suburban Diner in New Jersey, you should find it. I think there's only one. It's on.
That would be sick.
I'm pretty sure it's on Route 17. I could be wrong about that. But there's like an IKEA down there and shit. Turtleneck, we're in New York.
Yeah, it's like right on. I know where. I think I've passed that before.
You can't fucking miss it.
It's obviously before.
It's before
the
IKEA
GWB.
and the New York 4 turnoff.
Yeah.
You know, you take like 4 east to go to the GWB and shit.
Yep.
It's before that.
Right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's 17.
Well, let's make
I
that.
think you get off.
an
You get
event.
off and you get off the throughway.
We're gonna schedule that one out.
What is it? 15A, exit 15A, takes you to Jersey.
Oh yeah, right where
I think that's 78 that breaks off there,
yeah.
or something like that. And then there's
80, like you're saying, right where 87 goes to 287, right? Is that the exit?
I'd have to look at it, but I know it's 15A. That's definitely the exit. So you go past the last rest area. You go through the Harriman toll. 15A is like 2 or 3 exits down from
You go
that.
past like Sloatsburg, those rest stops.
Yeah, past that. Harriman is your throughway cutoff, and then you're smooth sailing until you hit the Tappan Zee. But you'd hit 15A before you get there.
Yeah.
You get off of that, follow it around to the left, you ride that shit.
Ride it.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, I would love to do some sort of fest like that too. I don't know where would be a centralized place for everybody. Some American dude got killed by an arrow when trying to approach some tribe that's still cut off. Whoa, that's nuts.
Well, I mean, those kind of things happen. Yeah, I don't know what in the hell would be centrally located to anybody in this country.
Yeah, I don't
based
know.
on the sort of spread on this thing.
I don't know. I feel like TascFest would almost have to be like a live streamed event.
Fucking New Paltz, New York.
Yeah.
Barbecue picnic. Minnesota. Oh. Yikes.
Well, that was an idea too. Is like
Going to Minnesota? That's not a
no,
good idea.
Well, no. At one point, we're talking about either doing some sort of, recording weekend or seminar or something. Maybe at Art Farm or at Operation Audio, because Art Farm would be cool because it has beds and stuff.
Yeah, Art Farm would be ideal
People
for
could
that.
travel and crash, but like.
But that's also a place where, like, you're cut off from fucking civilization.
Yeah.
There's Wi-Fi, but other than that, you're not calling. There's no service.
Right.
But that's the kind of thing where you'd have to put like some kind of like price package together because you can't do it for free.
No, yeah. 'Cause you have
I mean,
to-
you could
just
give your
renting
time
out
for
the-
free, but the
Yeah.
space you'd have to rent, the food you'd have to come up with.
Right, and that's something we could definitely talk about doing. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I think like you get together a group of maybe 4 to 6 people. And you don't want to have so many people that you can't work, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's something we talked about doing for a while. I don't know. I think something like that would be really cool, and then also TascFest would be cool. I think we'd have to do a small outdoor concert or something. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta step out again.
Yeah.
So should we go ahead and close her down?
All right. Yeah. Everybody's into this idea. All right. Bobby said he's gonna get the best brisket. James said he's bringing the dogs.
The best briskets in Minnesota.
All right. Well, keep brainstorming on it. Yeah. That's what we were thinking, Stefan. Something along those lines. Especially if we did this. There's like a studio around
Yeah, but
here.
if you did it at Art Farm, you could probably get away with paying just the day rates for like say 2 days.
We wouldn't need the guy to engineer.
No, but his day blocks are 24 hours.
Right.
So the lodging is
That's what I was thinking. That would be
included
kind of
already.
the perfect
Yeah.
spot because I know
there's a
there's
bathroom
like
and
10,
showers and the whole shit.
Yeah,
There's a
10 kitchen. Like that could be something
Yeah.
where it's like we just have to figure out the logistics of
Well,
like food.
it's
and
definitely a
things like
fucking
that.
camp out.
Well,
Well,
that's
you
what I
put
mean.
together a simple menu. That's how you deal with that.
Yeah.
But it'd be one of those things. We could all talk about
We'd
that.
have to see what the interest is, and
You know what? Bring gumbo. Bring beignets. Bring some of that brisket you're talking about.
Stefan, that's like this place we're
Yeah.
talking about. It's basically that. It's called Art Farm. You can look it up. I think it's.
Yeah.
I'll find the URL really quick, so you guys can check it out. That's what I was thinking, was having some sort of.
Yeah, Art Farm would be a good place. I mean, it's
Because Sean, sort of.
yeah, and it's
I think this place would be perfect.
it's 420 friendly, and you can smoke cigarettes outside, and he doesn't care if you drink beers and things, and there's plenty of lots of space. There's lots of lodging space. I think there's 9 beds. So there's a grand piano and drum kits and all sorts of shit there. So you could really turn it into whatever you want. And he does that. He has retreat weekends where they camp. Like there's a grove of pine trees up by the hot tubs.
Yeah.
It has hot tubs outside. It also has well, I guess they're not technically hot tubs. They're vintage clawfoot bathtubs that are set in rock walls. They dry stack stone walls around them, and they have hot and cold water, so you just be like butt ass naked, like out on the edge of a field, like an old clawfoot tub. Yeah, there's a shower out there.
You've done that before, right?
No, I don't do that kind of thing. But there's a grove of pine trees where they limbed all the trees up to about 8 feet. So you're literally like camping under like this pine canopy, and there's a huge whole
That's
giant
sick.
area. So yeah. Anyway, So that's a tight spot. It could be a thing.
I feel like this could work. It's just a matter of people being able to get there, and then obviously, like we said, there'd have to be some cost associated.
Well, you'd
with,
also have to decide what it's supposed to be.
Rent this place out. Yeah, that's what
Is it like a bunch of dudes just like chilling and splitting the cost on this thing to fucking hang out, or is it like instructional, or is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well,
I mean, is it like a 2-day barbecue and whatever happens happens? I mean, I'm fine with that too, but.
Well, I don't know if it's like something people want to just like come and check out, like drum techniques. Do people want to like try to record an album together? Do we want to like have people bring a song and record?
I think that's something that would have to be discussed either probably through the forum.
Yeah.
But
jam, task, family band, record a song. Yeah, we'd have to figure out, because like that's the other thing too, would have to be, because if people brought songs to record, we'd have to make sure that we have enough time to get everybody's thing recorded, everybody's track recorded.
Well, you'd also have to make sure that if, you know...
Figure out how many days we could do it.
Well, if you're doing it, let's say it's a weekend, everybody comes in Friday night, you get to the studio Friday night, right? So your block basically starts midnight Friday night, right? And then you got all the way till midnight on Sunday night to do whatever it is you're going to do and get the fuck out of there. So, you know.
Yeah, and obviously it's 24 hours. You have the whole place to ourselves.
Whatever you want to do. You can work all night if you want to. You're not going to disturb anybody. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You know. It's,
well, that's what's cool about it, is that it's like, you know.
You just have to, you know, and there's a landline, so if you got to call, like, your house or whatever, you can use the fucking landline, call home, tell them you didn't die. But it would be really good for people who have hectic, normal lives to really do, like, a full-on retreat thing. Too,
yeah, I think that would be the most fun, too, and, like, I don't know, so that place got a great vibe, you know.
Yeah, whether it's just, like, a chill sesh and, you know, whatever, who the fuck knows, man.
Yeah,
bunch of dudes getting together in a renovated barn, like I said, just barbecuing, hanging the fuck out all weekend, playing with microphones.
Now, what about the time of year? We thinking this would be more, because like we went there now, it'd be fucking.
I think it'd probably be better served to do it like spring, summer, so that you can like do outside shit too.
Well, all right.
Because there's an outside cabin.
This sounds like something you're interested in. Keep an eye out for it. And we'll put something together and figure something out for it.
Yeah, I mean, I can call
We'll talk
Sean
more about it
there.
on the stream. Yeah, talk to Sean. We'll figure something out. You know, it'd be maybe it's kind of a haul for some people, and we have to figure out again. It would definitely be. We have to figure out at least the cost of renting the space. You know.
Well, I mean, getting to.
But then people got to travel. You know, and the food and stuff we got to figure out.
But getting there isn't that bad. I mean, you take a flight into Newburgh. Or you take a flight into JFK and you get on a Trailways bus. Either way, you hub up to Kingston, and you ain't that far from Kingston.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not really as logistically difficult as it would seem.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like rent a van for the weekend and put everybody in it. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
I'll be right back.
We can record of We Are the World. Yeah, let's do it. Sound City Jam. Let's do it. Yeah, we'll figure something out. I think that would be really cool. We are TascFam. That would be really sick. Something I was thinking about doing for a while, or some kind of idea, some kind of thing like that. It's just never, I don't know. The thing that, you know, it's just, I know a lot of people are spread out from this area. That's the only thing is, you know, maybe we could stream it too, or stream parts of it, or do something. Because I think it would be really sick, and I would love to do some kind of task fest too. Like I see, there's so many. Like I've been thinking about going to a couple gaming conventions. I'm going to PAX Unplugged coming up, and in Philly. I don't know if any of you guys are going. Maybe I'll see you there. But that's such a cool scene. You know, there's like so many people into gaming stuff. But there's not, I don't know if there's anything quite like that for music. Like, it seems like there's like music conventions and music, you know, like huge things for music stuff. But what about something that's just like more laid back and, I don't know, not like a swap meet, but I don't know. It's just like a different scene. It's weird. But I think it'd be cool to do something, some kind of fest, music fest, task fest, indie fest. I don't know. think that would be a lot of fun. Matt said he has a perfect place, cabin and lake, and outdoor stage and electricity. What? We can all wear eye patches.
Jesus Christ.
I got shotgun on the triangle or xylophone. Nice. My family's property. Damn, that sounds cool, man. You got a stage there? I'll bring my NES and NES. Okay. We'll be. Oh yeah, we'll go to retro gaming, bro.
Oh man.
This is gonna be crazy. This is just gonna be like a.
Well, I guess the thing would be like how many people would actually be willing to like travel that distance to get here.
Well, that's the thing. I think we can let's
Like
put
how
something
much does
together
it, how
and
much
see what
does
it
it mean
would
to
cost,
you?
and then see how far because it's like, or we could try to figure out even doing just some kind of fest for a day, maybe something more. I don't know. We have to figure. We got to figure out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to put up a thing and see what the
response
gauge
is
the
like.
response.
We got to kickstart this.
Maybe I don't know. Because then at least we would know like if people want to do it or not.
Yeah.
It might make sense to try to do that.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell we would do. I mean, I don't think Sean would need a deposit, so it really would.
Sure, we
be
just
a
need to
matter
block the time, like figure out when.
Yeah.
Makes sense, and then block the time out.
Yeah, and put money together, put a number together on it so that there's money to feed everybody and.
Yeah, and that would be the other thing too is like the food stuff.
Well,
Tim is a really good cook. I wonder if we could somehow like have Tim come and then also he could just be the cook.
We would need to know everybody's dietary restrictions.
Yeah. Because he would fucking love that. Just say, hey Tim, look, I gotta plan out. I got we got a few people coming to this thing. We're gonna record. Tim's a musician too. You can hang out with us this weekend. Put together a menu. We'll give him the money for the groceries. He takes care of that. That would be that. I feel like that would be the way to go.
Could be done. I'm sure it could. I don't know. That's something to look forward to spitballing on anyway.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people got a lot of ideas here. So.
Yeah.
David said he's got a thing in Quebec. Matt said he has a place in MS. Bobby just says I need a vacation. James said he's 3 hours from us.
Yeah, that ain't bad. Down by Philly, right?
I forgot. James.
Is he the one saying?
Yeah, like sort of in Philly, New Jersey, like that area.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
I know there's a couple other people in Philly. I know there's a couple people in New Jersey.
Well, shit, David's only.
Stefan said he's an 18-hour drive from Art Farm. I'd probably have to fly.
Yeah. But David's 4.5 or 5 hours from here.
Yeah, Quebec. Oh, well, David's in Montreal, right? Quebec City is further up. I know.
Yeah. No, he's
Quebec
in
City would be sick.
Montreal, you can make in 4.5 or so hours.
Right.
Depends how you drive and what traffic's like, but.
Oh, South Jersey, suburb of Philly, basically. David's 5. Lake full of fish. Matt's really selling the MS thing. That would be sick. Trails galore. That would be cool.
Mosquitoes the size of birds and poisonous fucking snakes.
Oh, Quebec is 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's Quebec City. So that's like a 7-hour drive then to Quebec City.
Well, it's 2.5 hours from Montreal.
Yeah.
If you went up to get there, you got to go out through like Maine and shit. I think to Quebec City. And Maine is like a 6.5 hour drive, I think. So I would bet, yeah, you're probably in the ballpark of 8 hours to make Quebec.
Yeah, I've been there. Quebec City is beautiful. Really, I think the closest you can get to like a European vibe in North America. It's like one of the oldest, I think.
There's some people with very bad attitudes there, though.
Oh, really?
A lot of very old thinking.
I don't know.
The Quebecois, man. The ones who would rather be French.
Oh, right.
So,
Bobby said State College, PA. Where's that? He said he's going to be there next year.
State College, PA.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, it does.
Is it an actual college? I don't know.
No, I think it's a town.
I posted the Art Farm video if people want to check it out. Yeah, Quebec City is 99% French.
Yeah.
They were not friendly to the American-speaking tourists who felt like a nuisance. Huh. I had a good visit there. I don't know if I think I stayed in more of the touristy spots.
A lot of people I know have not had good experiences with the people of Quebec.
Oh, really?
But, you know, I guess your mileage may vary. No hate. I mean, whatever. They feel a certain way, man. That's on them.
So what's going on with Dave? Is he coming? Your bro? Is he coming back?
He is not.
Ah.
He is not. They figured out their financial situations and things, and
That's cool.
they're gonna stay out there for
Good
another year and see how it goes after that year's up.
Yeah, the reason I brought it up was just because that's like art form. That's kind of how I met. Well, no, I met you first, and then I was hanging out with Dave at Art Farm a little bit, and that's what made me got thinking about him again.
Yeah. No, not coming back. He did just fix Fred Durst's laptop yesterday.
What?
Fucking hilarious.
You
Yeah.
tell the story.
So,
That'll be the last story we got.
yeah, I think that's it. It's 9:20.
I can't.
I
Oh
wanna
my
go get some
god.
fucking pizza.
All right, yeah, we gotta
Tell me.
rock. All right, so tell us the Fred Durst story really quick.
That's it. That's all he told me.
How did he get hooked up with the guy? No.
Working at Village Recorders,
Crazy.
where he works. Durst evidently is a client, and he came in with some laptop issues, and Dave had to fix it. And he's like, yeah, despite the fact that he wrote the song Nookie, he's actually kind of a nice guy. Jesus,
man. All right. Well, there's okay. So we'll think about the art farm thing. We'll maybe.
what is this, a walking tour?
Yeah, I posted the video of like the inside of it just so people can see what up.
Yeah.
It's basically just like an old barn with shit in it.
It's a barn, yeah.
Oh shit, man! Holy cow!
Yeah, they got all the old stuff, but man, they got that old thinking too, though. So anyway,
Right.
all right, like, subscribe, you know the deal. Email him, email me. Do something you want to do every day. Don't be an asshole. If you subscribe to Thanksgiving, then happy Thanksgiving. If you do not subscribe to Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving is not available in your location, then
It's not
have a
available
nice Thursday.
in your region.
And do something you want to do every day. Did I say that already?
And keep an eye out for the Black Friday protest stream. We'll see. We'll see. I'll see how I'm feeling.
Keep it right side up.
Maybe we'll do something special. And hey, keep an eye out for the TascFam meetup, TascFam Fest, whatever. We'll figure something out, boys. Peeps, all the peeps out there. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get this audio figured out by Jay's next year. Or no, not next year.
Next year, Jesus Christ, I hope so.
Next week.
So, yeah, are we in at Bohem next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see you from
We'll see
my
you
place
from
next week.
Bohem next week.
And we're gonna try something a
We're gonna
little
smoke that
different with
place
the microphone set up there. I got a different idea. So.
Later,
Peace.
guys. See you, turtleneck. Yeah.